Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. How's everyone doing today? And although this dropped a couple of days ago, I don't like to do theory videos and stuff like that, which we're predicting everything, unless it's like a major celebration like GDC, the anniversary, Transcendent Dokkan campaign, stuff like that, where we have a part 1 that may lead us into a part 2 understanding. Once, of course, if they do drop a hint, it will make things much more apparent, of course. Now, we got this a couple of days ago, to be exact, and people were theorizing that this is Cell. The green grass at the top, it's just, that's okay, fine. People were theorizing that this is the hill that Kid Buu showed up on Earth when Goku and Vegeta took out Fat Buu from Super Buu. Yeah, none of those were correct. We are getting the Earth Blanketing Army Metal Cooler Army arrives. Funnily enough, this never actually happened in Dragon Ball Universe's Earth. This actually happened only on New Namek. Funnily enough. But yeah, this is what the hill was being surmised there. And that's where we are headed. So before we go into any information there, we have information on upcoming news. The Dokkan event has been announced. Now I wonder if you still have enough power left to stand against 1,000 of us. Wow. So we have here the event story, Dragon Ball story, fight 10 billion power warriors. The one where we get the free-to-play SSR metal coolers is getting revamped in a certain sense. We're getting a new support memory there with the missions that are being implemented there. We're also getting a new challenge event, the Surging Army of Steel. Take down countless enemies, complete a certain mission to get a special wallpaper. And of course, we're getting more nodes in Dokkan Frontier Planet Namek Saga, which is going to be very cool to see what they plan on doing with the rewards for the new nodes. We do have panel missions, and I'm going to say it here, if I'm feeling up for it, I do intend to do Dokkan Frontier stream on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So hold me to it if you want to. I will try to. If you've seen my post on the channel, my ear is in pain and it's kind of difficult, which is why the energy is not that there right now. We're also getting Seriously Serious All Out Battles Stage 7 Seriously Serious All Out Battles 2 Stage 7, and that's going to be here for the metal cooler. Now this is a TUR. It probably will be, I should say, a 200 coin exchange, but they have changed the dual Dokkan Festival that we just got recently to 300 each, the Beerus and the Goku. So hopefully it's still 200 as it is a standalone teal coin banner. Onto the animations here. And before we go into the animations, King Cold is the banner unit. Yep, the Dirty Slash. And then he throws away the sword. And then we have the cooler animations. So this is probably the entrance animation. Don't know why it's not showing the whole script there. Okay, this is the giant transformation, I guess, or the active skill. Yeah, this is, instead of giant transformation, it's going to be a swarm transformation. And would you look at that battle motion there? Wow. So after, if I understand correctly, after activating the swarm ability, which is akin to the giant transformation, he then gets stronger? That's so bizarre for a unit, but it makes definite sense. So we have here the Extreme Tech TUR here, which is Terrifying Conquerors or Power Absorption category, key +3, 200% to health, 170% to attack and defense, plus an additional 50% to stats for characters who also belong to the movie bosses, artificial life forms, or target Goku category. So that's going to be enormous as a leader skill. Absolutely enormous. So we have here for Link skills, Auto Regeneration, Nightmare, Thirst for Conquest, Strongest Clan in Space, Big Bad Bosses, good to see, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. Okay, where does this end and where does this start? Yeah. The left side goes all the way to the middle over here. That's how long this passive is. Stats are a little bit low. If I'm being honest, stats are a little bit low. But let's just see what's going on here. So we've got the entrance animation when there are 3 or more movie bosses or Wicked Bloodline category allies on the team upon the character's entry. So Wicked Bloodline is not the greatest at all at this point, but movie bosses, we have plenty of good movie bosses units to go with. We've got permanent, 2 additional attacks, each of which has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack, key +1, and 20% damage reduction. And then for 1 turn only, 20% additional damage reduction. Per movie bosses or Wicked Bloodline category ally on the team, whichever category has more members, 100% attack and defense up to 500%, and a chance of performing a critical hit, chance of evading enemies' attack, and damage reduction rate of 10% up to 50%. So turn 1 up to 90% damage reduction. Huge. Absolutely huge. 1 or more AGL key spheres, another 25% chance to dodge. So that goes up to 75% with an AGL key sphere. With a tech key sphere or more, a additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. The attacked enemy loses 25% attack and defense for 2 turns and seals the enemy's super attack, the one that you hit, for 2 turns. Interesting. So even if you're sealed, that can still happen. 1 or more int key spheres obtained can survive KO attacks up to once within a turn, and recovers 10% health at the end of the turn. So switching over here to the STR key sphere one, extreme class allies gain 50% attack and defense. With a physical key sphere obtained, recovers 5% of damage dealt as health. Wow. The more health remaining, the more attack and defense up to 200%. It's not a lot, but he is getting up to 500% here to begin with, and then up to 200% here. It's pretty good, actually. That's a lot of stats. I mean, again, the base stats are kind of low for the attack and defense, but again, we're not yet done here. For every attack received or evaded, another 30% attack and defense up to 150%. And then 5% attack and defense up to 25% for allies whose names include Cooler, not Cooler's Armored Squadron, plus an additional 5% attack and defense up to 25% if their names also include Metal Cooler. So this is going to be the lead for the free-to-play Metal Cooler team. I do like what they're doing here. It's unfortunately not going to be near the same as the Cybermen team. Starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle, has a guaranteed additional super attack, and when the character is the first attacker at the start of turn, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle, or starting from the 6th turn from the start of battle, calls in reinforcements. So the active skill can be activated when HP is 50% or less, or starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle, fully recovers health, Key +1, and 30% attack and defense in battle permanently. Now, this is probably what we were seeing and what I was probably mistaken of. That's not the animation post calling reinforcements. It is the active skill transformation, hence the fully recovering of health. So categories are movie bosses, target Goku, terrifying conquerors, artificial life forms, resurrected warriors, wicked bloodline, joint forces, revenge, grow to body and mind, accelerated battle, and power absorption. Yeah, definitely we're going in with movie bosses or wicked bloodline units, which I think they're all on terrifying conquerors, so it'll fill up easily there. The super attack greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage to the enemy and raises extreme class allies defense by, I believe that's 6%. That is 6% defense for 2 turns. So that is actually pretty cool. And the reason why I say that is because turn 1, we want to put him in slot 1, especially for filling up the whole passive and whatnot, so that we can get the 90% damage reduction, and even then we would still have 70% damage reduction along with all of these stats. This unit might just be very, very, very tanky. Again, low stat points, but still might be very, very tanky. It's also a support unit on top of that for Metal Cooler and Cooler units, as well as the possibility of also giving, 50% attack and defense for extreme class allies with an STR key sphere. So that would be pretty cool here with all this extra defense that he's giving for 2 turns. Next, we have the transformation conditions over here. Not the transformation, the reinforcements conditions, which I think activates like the giant transformation, which we have already. So the first attack in a turn from the 4th turn or from the 6th turn from the start of battle. And then the swarm ability, reinforcements, not necessarily giant, but it is working like the giant transformation. Key +3 performs a critical hit. It's guaranteed stun on all enemies. I mean, obviously, if you can't stun them, it probably won't occur. And at the start of each turn, gains 600% attack permanently. The super attack greatly raises attack temporarily and causes destructive damage to the enemy. I do want to say that I think this kit is comprehensive. I don't like all of these, like, what if you get for any type of orb, but it does provide some character for the unit, and I can't say yet that I don't like it. It's just going to keep... It is going to make things more technical when using this unit. But all in all, we're talking about 50% chance to dodge. And then with an AGL key sphere, that goes up to 75%. Again, supposing that we have the full passive activated. Wow. This might just be a very, very, very good unit. Do I recommend summoning? Not exactly, but we are getting 7 free tickets. So hopefully we can get lucky on them. And I mean, everyone gets lucky on them. So we have here King Cold, which has even less stats. Wicked Bloodline or Terrifying Conquerors category, Q plus 3 and 130%. 2 stats. The links are Tough as Nails, Brutal Beatdown, Universe's Most Malevolent, Strongest Clan in Space, Thirst for Conquest, Coward, and Fierce Battle. Looks like there's only... yeah. Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, Android Cell Saga, Target Goku, and Successors. So let's look at the passive, which is also 2 pages apparently, but it's just an extra line here. It didn't fit in the first one. So we've got 250% and 2 attack and defense and 2 key. Launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack per Wicked Bloodline or Terrifying Conquerors category ally on the team, depending on which category has more members. Another 100% attack and defense up to 400%, so that's a 4 max. And chance of performing a critical hit, evasion, and damage reduction rate of up to 40%. So 4 is the amount that we're talking about here. When all allies attacking in the same turn are Wicked Bloodline or Terrifying Conquerors category characters, all allies gain 2 key and 40% attack and defense for 2 turns, and 250% attack when attacking. Okay, that is pretty good support. When there is an Earthbred Fighters or Hybrid Saiyan category enemy, another 200% attack and a critical hit chance is guaranteed. When attacking with 12 or more key, another 250% attack and defense, so he does have to attack for that extra defense, which is fine. He is a banner unit, you probably do not want to put him in slot 1. When receiving a super attack once only, but it's permanent, another 100% defense, and another 30% chance to dodge temporarily. So each time when receiving a super attack, it doesn't have to land, it'll activate as soon as the super attack is launched at him. When receiving a physical super attack, another 50% damage reduction temporarily. Interesting, so that gives a 90% damage reduction? Okay. That is different when it's a physical super attack. Granted, it's not a lot of super attacks that are physical, but who knows if the upcoming series, the Serious All Out Battles super attacks are going to be non-physical or physical. And the target enemy is in the following status, which is attack down or HP is 60% or less, interrupts the attacked enemy. So the super attack greatly raises defense for 1 turn and causes super damage to the enemy. So definitely not putting this guy in anything before slot 1 unless there is no attack in slot 0 and there's an AoE, I guess. Oh, it also lowers attack and defense. Okay, so that's a stacking lowering attack and defense, but the chance of, what is it, 1 extra super attack? Yeah, so 2 super attacks per turn, feasibly max additional, I guess. If he's, yeah, it's a physical unit, so you could go max additional, like something like 30%. 30 in a potential system that's max additional, and then you would be able to possibly do 3 super attacks per turn, but he tops out at 3 per turn. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. All in all, I think this unit is really good for his team, of course, being on Terrifying Conquerors or Wicked Bloodline. And this cooler. I think this cooler is really, really good. I may be missing something here. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not missing something here. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, please. I hope you all enjoyed. If you're new here or you aren't already, please consider subscribing. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Goshen signing off.